The second chapter of the Mishnah, the Nashim or women section, is called Ketubah, which means marriage contract. It deals with issues related to marriage. The oldest extant Ketubah text dates from around 440 BC. In other words, they date before Islam. In the Mishnah Ketubah, when discussing sexual intercourse with women, it is said twice that your field was flooded, and the female womb is compared to a field. The first discourse is about the bride who has no physical signs of virginity and says to her husband, "After you betrothed me, I have been raped, and your field has been ruined by a flood." So the woman who did not bleed from her vagina during the nuptial act is talking about being raped. And by saying, "Your field has been ruined by a flood," she is saying that someone else had intercourse with her. Because the Talmud has adopted this image, it depicts a man whose wife has been raped as a man whose field has been flooded. In fact, if the woman is unable to perform the wedding due to menstruation or illness, the man is again referred to as someone whose field is flooded. Thus, in Jewish tradition, a woman's uterus is likened to a field. Considering the interaction between Jews and Muslims, the geography in which the Qur'an originated, and the vocabulary of the Qur'an, it is not unlikely that the parable of the field was borrowed from the Jews. This is because there are many motifs from the Talmud and Midrash that have found their way into the Quranic verses. On the other hand, even if this metaphor was not inherited through the Jews, I have shown with many examples that in the pre-Islamic ancient Near East, women were already compared to a field. Obviously, the peoples of the region inherited, adopted, and used this metaphor. Therefore, this verse did not originate from a god, but from a geography that bears the traces of Sumerian Babylonian culture, a geography where women, who are associated with fertility, were viewed as fields to be plowed and watered, and from hands that were influenced by the language used in the legends of these regions.